I want to encourage somebody on today. I want to talk to the person who's in a scary place, not just a hard place, but an uncertain one, right? A place where you don't know what's coming next. And it's got you stuck. It has you feeling like, man, I don't know what to do. I want to talk to the person who feels paralyzed in this moment. Not because you don't want better, but because fear has gripped your heart. Because you are in a place to where you are stuck in fear and you're scared, you're worried, and you don't know what to do next. You see, you're in that place where your dreams are still alive on the inside of you, but fear has built up a wall between where you are right now and where you want to be. And I want to speak life into you on today. I want to help you overcome fear because I know what fear will do to you. You see, fear will keep you stuck in the season that God never intended for you to stay in. Fear will rob you of peace, purpose, and progress. And the worst part of it all is that you'll stay stuck, not because you're not capable, but because you are scared. And today, I want to give you some tools that's going to unlock your freedom on today so that you don't have to walk in fear, but you can live a life in purpose. And I understand the things that I'm going to talk to you about. I understand what fear can do to you because I've been there myself. And today, I want to help you break free from that place. So let's talk about it on today, okay? Let's talk about fear because fear is one of the biggest enemies to your future. You see, fear has stolen more dreams, more than anything, more than anything in this world. In this world, fear has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. You see, fear has kept more people from walking into their purpose than rejection never has. And if we don't deal with it, fear will settle in your heart and convince you that it's protecting you. That's what fear will do to you. In your mind, you will actually think that you're being protected by not moving forward when really fear is just paralyzing you. So let's call it out. Let's go ahead and speak the truth, right? What are some of the fears that keeps us stuck? Because it's so many different things that I can think of. It's so many different things that many people can think of that's causing them to be stuck, right? So what are the fears that stops us from becoming who we were meant to be? I'm gonna go ahead and name some of them, right? We have the fear of failure. The thing that people ask is, what if I try and it doesn't work? We have the fear of success. I understand that people are scared to fail, but then it's also, we have the fear of succeeding. We have the fear of actually achieving our goals to where we ask ourselves, what if I can't handle it, right? When I get there, what if I can't handle all of the pressures of being successful? And then we have the fear of rejection. We ask ourselves, what will people think of us, right? What if they don't support us? What if they don't support me as I'm trying to go and live out my dream? That's some of the fears that we have. Then we also have the fear of not being enough. We ask ourselves the question, what if I'm not smart enough? What if I'm not talented enough? What if I'm not good enough? Right? What if I'm not tall enough? What if I'm not strong enough? What if I don't have what it takes? And then we also have the fear of starting over. It's you already lost so much that you don't even know if you have it in you to win again. You don't even know if you have it in you to begin again because of the fear that, man, you messed up before. And what if it happens again? You failed before. What if it happens again? But I want to tell you, if that's you right now, I'm going to go deeper into this. But if that's you, if you made a mistake before, if you failed before, here's what I want you to say, right? Here's how I want you to frame your mindset when it comes to letting fear stop you because you failed. The thing about it is, because you failed before, you now have more knowledge on how to succeed. I'm going to leave that with you right there. And then we also as we move forward, we have the fear of what people will say. And the thing about it is, it's we might say man, they already think that I'm a failure. Right? Then we also have the fear of the unknown. It's I don't know what's next, so maybe I should just stay right here. Now, I want to ask you this question. Can you relate to any of these fears? Can you relate to any of the fears that I just listed out? And if that's you, I want you to know that I'm glad that you're telling the truth. Because if we'll be honest, most people on this earth, we live in fear. If we don't live in fear now, in a moment in our life before, we have lived in fear. And I know that I can relate to some of these things as well. But let me tell you something. I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn that fear doesn't keep you safe, but fear, it keeps you small. And the thing about it is, you were not created to live small, but you were created for more. And so now I want to help you to take steps to overcome fear. I want to give you real steps, real practical steps, because fear might feel powerful, but it's not stronger than faith. I'm going to say that again. The fear, it may feel powerful where you are in life, but fear is not stronger than faith, and it's not stronger than your decision to take back your life. See, you have to come to the place to where you say enough is enough. And I've been there, and I said enough is enough. I'm no longer going to be fearful. I'm going to go ahead and walk in my purpose. I'm going to go ahead and do the things that I know that God has called me to do. I'm going to go ahead and chase my dreams. I'm going to go ahead and chase my goals. I'm going to get up every single day and I'm going to chase purpose. I'm going to chase it. So you have to make that decision to take your life back on today. This is the video that is here to help you to stop letting fear control your life, to stop letting fear control the things that you do in your life. Stop letting fear tell you that you can't have more. Stop letting fear tell you that you can't accomplish all the things that you know that you have deep down on the inside of you. So let's talk about how you can overcome that fear. Number one, the thing that I want you to do so you can overcome the fear is I want you to identify the fear. You see, you can't defeat what you can't name. And you got to be honest with yourself about what you're really afraid of. Like maybe it's failing. Maybe it's being alone. Maybe it's trying again. Whatever it is, you need to call it out. Don't bury it. Don't ignore it, because a hidden fear is a growing fear. But when you expose it to the light, it loses its grip. And once you say it out loud, like, I'm scared of starting over, like, the thing about it is you have already started weakening its power, because now it's no longer running around unchecked. Like, it's no longer just running around in your head. It's not just, secretly hiding, but it's on the table. And now you can do something about it. And I want to tell you this, even from experience, you guys, like, man, I felt so bad as an entrepreneur. I felt so bad as a husband. I felt so bad as a father. I felt so bad just as a human being, as a man, that I was scared to start over again. So I'm not just telling you something just with something that I've researched and that I've studied and that I learned. This is lived experience. I was scared to start over. I was scared to be an entrepreneur. I was scared to go back into business because of a lot of those reasons, because the fear of failure, because the fear that I would succeed again. Like, it was so many different fears that I had that I had to speak out of my mouth. And I have to go ahead and say, like, I'm scared that I'm going to fail again. And the thing about it, when I did do that, I did get my power back. And step number two, what I want you to do is you have to challenge fear with truth. Like, this is something that has helped me to overcome fear, is challenging the fear with truth. Like, one of the things that I'm grateful for is because my godfather, he always used to ask me a question when I would speak and I would talk about, like, man, I'm scared of this thing. The question that he will always ask me is, who told you that? Right? And so that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to challenge that fear. I want you to ask yourself, who told me that this won't work? Like, who said that I won't make it? Go ahead and ask yourself that question, because so many of our fears are built on lies, like lies that we accepted as facts. Like, fear says that you'll never succeed, but the truth says that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Like, fear says that you're not good enough, but the truth says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the thing about it is, you got to start replacing fear's lies with truth, because the truth is you're stronger than you think. The truth is that you've made it through worse. The truth is that you are not alone. So wherever you are in your life, I want you to ask yourself these questions, and I want you to start challenging those fears. I want you to start challenging it. Like, really challenge those fears. Really ask yourself questions to come up against that fear, right? Because one of the things about it, I can even tell you this. If you're able to challenge those fears, if you're able to ask those questions, like, who told me that? You'll begin to get some answers. When you think about it and you say, man, who says that I'm not smart enough? Like, Who says that, right? And you may have a sheet of paper be based on your grades from college and all of that stuff. But here's the thing about it. When you know who told you, guess what? You can change it. Because even though on the paper, your grades, it may say like, hey, you're an F student. That don't mean that you can't be an A student. Why? Because once you already know this is the thing that told me that I can't do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and prove to that person. I'm gonna go ahead and prove to this thing that I can do it. Because now I know where I'm at, so now I can create a plan. Now I can go ahead and move forward so that I won't allow fear to stop me from living a life that I know that I should be living. And step 3, what I want you to do is to take one step forward to fear. All right, take one step forward to the fear, because fear loses its power when you move. Even if it's small, take one step. Like, go ahead, make that phone call, send that email out, fill out that application. Go ahead, start that business plan today. Because one thing about it is when you start moving, when you start taking action, guess what happens? Your confidence start to build up. Your faith start to build up when you start moving. And the thing about it is fear doesn't have its place anymore because you're constantly moving. And guess what? You're moving away from the fear and you're starting to see like, man, I can actually do this thing. Like as you continue to progress, as you continue to move forward towards faith and walking away from fear, like you will begin to see that you are stronger than you thought that you was. Like you're smarter than you thought that you was. Because one thing about it, when it comes to fear, science tells us about when it comes to taking action against fear. Science tells us that action reduces anxiety. Action reduces anxiety. And one of the things about it, when you move, when you just start to make a decision to move forward and take action, the anxiety does decrease. And I know this from lived experience. I know this because even as I start doing the things that I'm doing with my business and with my family and even with my speaking career and with my YouTube channel and all of these things, I'm just doing. Whenever I'm scared, you know what I tell myself? I tell myself, I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it now. I'm not going to wait, because the longer I wait, the longer like my anxiety is just growing and growing. My fear is just growing and growing and growing. And according to research from the American Psychological Association, even taking a small action step toward a feared goal reduces the psychological weight of that fear. You see, you don't have to fix your whole life today. Just take one step. And when you do, fear starts to shrink. Okay, like fear starts to get smaller because, like I said earlier, you start to see that you actually can do it. Like you start to see progress. Like that's the thing about taking action. You start to make progress. You start to make progress and progress. And guess what? It's a compounding effect. Like it's a compounding effect. When you take that action, then it starts to build, then it starts to build. Then now your confidence, your faith is growing and growing and growing and growing. And next thing you realize, people are looking at you like, man, that guy's actually doing this thing. And then they will look at you like, man, this person is a success. And then guess what? They would think that it's a miracle. They would think that, oh, it's not normal, that it's not natural. But the whole time is one step that you took at a time. And step number 4, I want to go into this. When it comes to, overcoming fear, you have to visualize success. You have to visualize yourself being successful in whatever area you are pushing towards. Whatever goal that you have to visualize it. You have to see it. You have to see yourself being successful in achieving your goals and achieving your dream. You can't visualize yourself, failing. Because most of the time, fear has us running fake horror stories in our minds. Like we can see all of the things that's going to happen bad. We can think about all the things, that might happen that's not good. We can think about all the negative things, but we have to change that. And we have to start visualizing success. We have to start smelling, really putting ourselves in that place to where we want to be, to where we can smell what the environment is going to be like when we make it, to where, man, we can feel like what it's going to be like, whatever it is that you're desiring to move towards, but you're letting fear stop you. You have to visualize that, because we always imagine everything that's going wrong. But what if you imagine it going right for once? Like, what if you would visualize yourself actually making it, right? Because this isn't just something that's just, oh, just random. But athletes and like highly successful people, they use this all the time. And it's something that's called mental rehearsal. Like doing mental rehearsal is where you're visualizing yourself for success. Like Olympic gold medalists, they practice not just physically, but mentally. Like they close their eyes and they see themselves winning. And you may ask like, well, that's some weird stuff. But I want to tell you, when it comes to letting go of fear and when it comes to becoming more and reaching your goals, oh, you got to do some stuff that's not comfortable. You got to do some stuff that's not normal. And the thing about it, you may ask like with this, with the whole visualization, it's like, why? Because what you focus on, that's what grows. Like when you see yourself in a negative light, when you see yourself failing, when you see yourself making mistakes, when you see yourself, coming up against roadblocks and setbacks, when you see yourself not making it, not being successful, that's what starts to grow. That's what starts to grow. And so you have to change your perspective and you have to start visualizing yourself actually succeeding. Because if you keep visualizing failure, you'll stay paralyzed. You will stay stuck if you continue to only see things not working out. But if you start to imagine yourself succeeding, even if it's uncomfortable at first, like your mind and your body is going to start preparing to make it happen. And I know this, like and this isn't just, I'm not talking about no voodoo stuff. But like this is real when you actually take time and you take time to relax and you close your eyes and you visualize yourself in the place or doing the thing that you are striving to do and striving to be. It will happen. And next, I want to go into step number 5. Like you have to talk back to the fear. Like don't let the fear have the final word. Like when you start hearing those negative thoughts and those whispers, right? When you hear fear start whispering to you, like saying like you're not ready, you need to talk back. You need to say, yes, I may not be ready, but I'm willing, right? When fear says you might fail, like you need to say, but I'll learn. When fear says that you're not enough, you need to say that I'm still going to go. Like you have to open your mouth and declare what you believe because faith comes by hearing. And sometimes you need to hear yourself speak life. You need to say things like, I'm walking in faith, not fear. I may not feel ready, but I'm still moving. The fear is not in charge of me. Speak it until you believe it. And I've been there in the place when it comes to speaking, right? When it comes to speaking life over yourself. In the very beginning, it's like you're telling lies to yourself. Like you sound like sometimes I'm gonna use this word, but it's like, man, I sound very ignorant right now. Like, man, look at my life. And I'm talking about I'm gonna be successful. Man, look at this. Look at this situation. Look at where I'm at. Like, look at all the things around me. And sometimes it sounds like a lie in the very beginning. But one thing I've learned is that if you continue to speak life over yourself and not death, if you continue to speak positivity over your life and not the negative things that you see around you, things will start to change because that is what's going to grow. And I want to move to step number 6 because I really do believe that this is important. And what that is that you have to surround yourself with courage. Right? Like you need people around you who's going to remind you of who you are when you forget. Like you need people around you who are going to uplift you, right? Because you can't do this alone. Like we were not made to go on this journey of life alone. We were not made to go on this journey of success and to achieving our dreams and our goals alone. It will be seasons in our life to where we do have to be alone, but not all the time. Because one thing about it, I do know this. Fear, it grows in isolation. Like fear, it grows in isolation when you're surrounded by yourself, when it's only you and your thoughts. That's when the negative thoughts will try to come. Right? That's when your low self-esteem will start to kick up. Like that's when you find yourself being in a place to where you start talking down on yourself because of everything that you see around you. It's in isolation. And the thing about it, fear, it comes up in isolation. But guess what? It dies in community. Fear dies in community. And when you find yourself dealing with the negative thoughts that's too strong for you, what I encourage for you to do is call a friend who believes in you. Like, get in a room where people are doing what you dream of doing. Listen to the voices that speak courage, whether that's a sermon, whether that's a podcast, or a voice like mine. And the thing about it is, it's important for you to get around people that's going to empower you. Get around people that's going to inspire you. And I know this even in my own life. Like, it's many times to where I'm gonna give you an actual true story, And this was just like a couple months ago. But for me, I'm starting over in business and getting my business and everything all together. And the thing about it is, with starting back, I still had that fear. It's like, what if it don't? Like, what if it don't work out, Josh? Like, what if it doesn't happen? But I surrounded myself with a community of business owners. I have mentors now that mentor me in business. And I remember just even saying to my mentor, to where I went to a mastermind, and we was talking at the end, and I was like, I said, man, it's kind of crazy, but it's like, for me, I told him, I said, I feel like I shouldn't even be in this room. But you know what he said? In that moment, see, those was my negative thoughts. Like, that was my mindset a couple months ago, because it happened. Sometimes those negative thoughts, it just comes. Those feelings, of the imposter syndrome, like, it happens. But because I was able to open up my mouth and share the fear that I had, and I told him my insecurity, like, man, I don't feel like I should be in the room. And you know what? He encouraged me in that moment. And he told me, he was like, that's exactly why you need to be in this room. He said some other stuff, but that's what he said. Because the thing about it is, when you surround yourself around people that's going to uplift you, you're going to see how you're able to move forward. Because you're not the only person that's battling the fear, but it's the people that surround you, that support you. And here's one thing. Here's what researchers from Harvard found, okay? Your likelihood of success, it increases dramatically when you're surrounded by people pursuing the same goal. I'm gonna say that again. Like, the likelihood of you succeeding, it increases dramatically when you're surrounded by people pursuing the same goal. And I remember this saying that it says, like, your community, your community is currency. Like, the people that you're around, like, they really matter. And I understand that, because when you surround yourself with like-minded people, the only thing that is going to happen is all of you guys are going to go to another level. You see, the thing about it is, on the flip side though, is when you're hanging around people that's not uplifting you, that's not, building you up, what do you think will happen? They will drag you down, right? They will drag you down. So get in a circle. You need to find your tribe, because it really matters. Find your people who have the same goals as you. Go ahead and find you somebody who's going to hold you accountable. And the thing that I want to share with you guys, before I give you the final step, there's something that I really have to say. Because I feel like when it comes to letting go of fear, it's not really talked about a lot. Like, when it comes to reaching success, and when it comes to letting go of fear, and when it comes to moving forward, I don't really hear this talked about often. But what I want to share with you guys today, that I really do think is important, is you really have to forgive yourself. Because sometimes we say it's fear, not because of what we're facing, but because of what we're carrying. You see, sometimes we find ourselves being mad at ourselves. Like, we hate that we waited so long, right? And so we blame ourselves for what didn't work last time. But let me say this to you, okay? You will never move forward while punishing yourself for your past. Like, you will never be able to move forward if you are hard on yourself, and in your mind you're like, man, I should have been did it. Man, I missed the opportunity. Man, like, and it does, because it doesn't have to be fear. It's just your mindset towards yourself, because you're angry that you missed the moment. You're angry that you missed the opportunity. But what I want to encourage you guys to do today is to forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know. I'm going to say that again. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you did not know. And I'm going to give you guys a real life example. Like, me and my wife was having a conversation the other night, and we were just talking, and she was like, man, we was talking about certain decisions in our life, and it was like, man, like, will we really make those same decisions again? But in that exact moment, I told her, we can't be upset with ourselves. Like we have to let that go when it comes to the decisions that we made, whether it was right or whether it was wrong, but especially the decisions that we feel was wrong. We have to let it go and we have to move forward. Because if we stay looking in the past, we're going to stay stuck in the past, right? If we continue to look in the past, we're going to stay stuck. And so what I even shared with her is like, hey, we got to forgive ourselves for not knowing what we did not know. Because when I hear this in everyone's life, especially the people that's older, I hear, man, if I knew back then what I know now, my life would be different. But I'll be honest, every person will have that same phrase. Every person can agree, like, man, if I knew back then what I know now, how things would be better. But that just shows that we are learning. It shows that we are growing. And so what I want you to do is to forgive yourself, right? Like even if you're the person who you have to forgive yourself, even if you're the person who trusted the wrong person, right? Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for giving up. Forgive yourself because you're not that person anymore. You see, you're growing, you're healing. And if you're still here, you've got another chance. So before you take that next step, go ahead and release the guilt. Like you deserve to walk forward free, not perfect, just free. Now, here's the final step that I want to leave with you guys. Step 7, jump anyways. You see, there comes a point where you have prayed, where you have prepared, where you've planned, but you got to jump. Like fear won't always leave, but your life can't wait on your fear to disappear. Like sometimes you got to move while your knees are shaking. Like you got to speak while your voice is still trembling. You got to go before you feel ready. And that's what faith is. Faith isn't the absence of fear, but it's the decision to move in spite of it. Like I know it's crazy. Like I know it's uncertain, but if you don't jump, you'll never know what was waiting for you on the other side. And I don't want you to go another year. I don't want you to go another month, another day, staying stuck in the same place. So I want to encourage you today to go ahead and jump. And I want you to jump because you were made for more. And fear is not your home. Fear is not your home. I encourage you to let go of the fear because one thing about it, it is something greater on the other side of fear. It is more on the other side of fear. Like where you are in your life right now, where you are, where your family is, when you think about the things that's around you, where everything is at in your life, there is more for you. There is more for you. And I want to encourage you to don't be afraid, to don't let fear stop you from becoming all that you can be, becoming all that you know that you can be. But not only all that you know you can be, don't let fear stop you from becoming all that you don't know that you can be. Because sometimes we settle for less. And all I want to do is encourage you guys on today to walk in faith, walk in purpose, go ahead and do the things that you know that you've been waiting too long to do. Like this message right here is to inspire you, is to motivate you to go ahead and take the steps that you need to take. Go ahead and do the thing that you need to do so that your life can change, so that you can be more, so that you can make a greater impact in this world. Okay, that is my message to you, to go ahead and jump. So if this message has encouraged you today, I want you to comment below and I want you to let me know what part spoke to you the most. I want you to share this with someone as well, because if you receive value from this, I know that someone else is going to receive value from this, right? Like someone else who's been stuck, like someone who's been battling fear, someone who needs this message, because you don't know who you might free just by sharing this. And I want you to make a decision today, even if you're afraid, you're going to move anyway, because this is your moment. It's time to let go of fear and jump. It's time for you to let go of fear and walk in your purpose. It's time for you to let go of fear and be all that God has called you to be. It's time for you to let go of fear and walk the road that you should go on. Go ahead and take one step at a time to continue on your journey to greatness. Until next time, you guys, take care.